We got this.
We definitely got it.
Okay. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Real Talk, Stepping Outside of the Box. And I am super excited to be sitting here with this beautiful black woman who's in STEM. And for those of you guys who don't know what STEM is, science, technology, engineering, and math. And we'll learn more about that. But I'm going to let Miss Myra tell us more about it. So, Myra, first of all, tell us about you. Who are you? What do you do? What do you like to do?
What am I? Who am I? Who am I? I don't think that's such a broad question. What do you want to know about me? Like,
let's start with this. When you were a child, what did you dream of being when you grew up?
So, I don't remember as far back as when I was a child. It was probably something like a doctor or something like everybody else. But I know as I got older, I wanted to be a child psychologist.
Okay.
That was my goal. I really wanted to do that. I love children. My mother has always worked with children. She's a teacher, and I've watched her throughout the years have her students, and children are just so helpless. I always wanted to know more about them and talk to them and just know what's going on in their mind. So that's what I wanted to do.
Okay, and are you currently working with children?
I am not.
Okay. So what are you doing now? Can you explain what it is that you're doing in the STEM world?
So what I do now, I administer a customer relationship management software called Salesforce. Okay. It's really prominent. It's a huge program. A lot of companies use it, and it's basically for companies to track their relationship with their customers. I basically administer it to people that use it. So I do updates, I do trainings, I create different page layouts, I create fields. I basically run the whole site for my company.
Okay.
And I've been doing that for about 5 years within 3 different companies as of now.
Okay, so 5 years in STEM. And I do want to make note of this. When myself and Myra were going back and forth in inboxes, what she stated, which made me excited and wanted to interview her more, was, I'm a proud black woman in STEM. And I just thought that was so dope to just have that type of pride. So let's highlight like the black woman. So again, we're here to empower and motivate people to think outside of the box. One, how is that thinking outside of the box for a black woman? And what is it like being a black woman in STEM?
So when people think about IT, because I work in information technology, people think about men, number one. And it's a field that's dominated by not only men, but also Caucasians and Asians. Yeah. So if you look at the diversity, there's not much there.
Yes.
So over my tenure with working with this program, I've ran into a lot of women, but I have not run into one black woman yet that works in my field. Not yet. No.
Wow.
I have been the only one at several companies, and I just feel like it makes strides to be a black woman working in IT. Okay. So that's the proud part about it. Is that number one, it wasn't something that I planned to do. It's something that kind of.
And she's a beautiful black woman. I'm just looking at her, and she's just like flawless right here. So yeah,
I got real fine before Steph got here, y'all. I had to hurry up and get
definitely fine.
So yeah, and I feel like there's a stereotype of the type of people that work in IT. And so when I look at myself, I always tell people like, I don't look like I work in IT, but what does that really mean? What does it mean to look like you work in information technology? And I just feel like I'm a face for that now.
Yes.
And it makes me so proud. It definitely does.
Okay, so how did you get into this field?
So that's a great story. I was working in marketing for a medical device company. If anybody follows my social media, they know a couple years ago I was traveling a lot. Like I was in different cities all the time, and people were coming to me like, "What do you do? Like, why are you traveling all the time?" And I don't know what their perception was of what I was actually doing, but I was really traveling because I worked for marketing, right? I worked for marketing, and I coordinated trade shows in different cities, and we basically marketed our medical devices, and that's how I got into Salesforce, because I was given the responsibility of managing this program within my job, and at first I didn't want to do it, and I was just like, what? Like, this is not part of my job. Description, all I want to do is travel. All I want to do is showcase these products. But, I actually took it on, and what I did was I went and got certified. This was the best thing that I actually did. was that I went and I had my job pay for me to get certified in this program because I didn't know much. How can I teach somebody else how to do this if I don't know much?
So this isn't something you went to school for?
No, not at all. For the record, I do have my master's. I have my MBA.
Okay.
And I got that on purpose because I was one of those people that when I was 20, 25, 28, I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Right.
I was in school and I said, well, let me get a general degree because I don't know what I want to do yet. So I know business is there. So, you know. So I got certified in this program and I just learned more about it. Having the certification really put me in a separate pool of people. You know, there's people that know the program, there's people that work in the program, but being certified put me in a different category. Okay. So I did that in 2016, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made. I never want anyone to be discouraged from getting education, but I feel like this certification has done more for me than my master's has. And I feel like the combination...
And really quickly, you had your job pay for that.
I did.
Right?
I did because it was not only an investment in me, it was an investment in them because with me having more knowledge, I can teach people better, you know? And I pled my case so much, like I need to go. It was about...
Advocate for yourself.
Advocate, yes. It was about a $6,000 investment that they made in me, and I had to take a course, and I had to take a test, and you know, and I failed it the first time. I went back 2 days later, and I passed it. I was
Can you say that again? You did what?
I failed it the first time. I went back 2 days later and took it again, and I passed it, and I was ecstatic, and I came back, and I thought I was the man. Like, you know, like, yeah, I'm certified. You know, I was so happy. Once I did that, I started applying for jobs specifically in that field. Okay. So the program I work with is called Salesforce. So I started applying for Salesforce admin jobs. There were a lot of them that needed to be filled. Yeah. So I would say I doubled my salary with that certification.
She doubled her salary.
My salary with that certification.
Okay. That's pretty awesome. So congrats to you. And I just see you living your best life. And I'm just like, what is it that what is it that you do? And I think it's very insightful to get the background of what you actually do and that you're actually happy with your employment, right?
I definitely am. So number one is I reached out to you because I feel like a lot of people feel that way. People wonder what I do. Like, you know, because, you know, my social media shows me living my best life.
Best life.
But it doesn't go into detail about, you know, too much into my life, and that is on purpose. And I do want people to know what I do because I want people to be motivated to go outside the box, that there's not a ceiling, like keep going. Like I actually want to further my career and go into software developing. So that's my next thing that I want to be tackling. Technology is the wave of the world. Like it is trending. I think it's going to be trending for a long time, and even if a robot takes over your job, somebody has to code that robot to do what you do.
Y'all better be listening, and I hope y'all have y'all notepads out because she's talking right now. She's really speaking, and I think that's really dope. What has been like the biggest challenge in your field, other than being the only Black woman?
I think the biggest challenge has been learning. So you have to want to know how to do this stuff because it can be boring. Oh, it can be so boring, you know, and it doesn't mix with my personality. I'm so outgoing, I'm so this, but when I get to work, like I'm on a computer all day. I'm looking at the system all day. Like I'm just sitting there and it's kind of like, So trying to kind of tie it into what my outside life is, like my social life, it's kind of hard. But other than that, you know, learning the system, and it's forever changing. You know, it's updated 3 times per year, so making sure I'm up to date with everything, making sure I'm up to date with other softwares that it integrates with. Like, there's a lot to know.
A lot.
And I do want to touch on something that you said. You said that I'm doing something that makes me happy. So, I love what I do. Yes. It's not my passion.
Ooh, okay.
Plot twist. No.
We want to know. We want to hear about it.
The field that I'm in is very lucrative for me. It helps me live my best life. My hopes, you know, I love my marketing job. The best thing for me. I feel like I'm the perfect person to do marketing. A lot of people have told me I should go into sales. Like, you're so personable and you're so this and that, whatever. I want to get back into marketing eventually. But I have to invest in myself, of course. And My goal is to really work for Essence.
So she will be working for Essence in the near future.
I will be working for Essence in the near future in their marketing department. That's what I really want to do.
We're claiming it today.
We are totally claiming it. I want to get into like fashion blogging and all of that stuff. Like I want to get to the point where work doesn't feel like work.
Okay, awesome.
And that's how I'm going to do that.
I think that's really dope. And I know that you possess the skills necessary to get you there. Like you do. And this is, from a person who's watched you, who's been watching you, who's sitting here with you, and I'm feeling the energy and I get it, and there's no way you're going from here to here without having the skills that you need. So I think that's dope, and you're dope. So with everything that's going on, and you talked about, getting back into marketing, right now, what are your short-term goals? Like, how are you going to use what you're doing now to get there?
So, I am still going to go back to school for coding. Okay. So, that is on my radar. I want to know a lot of stuff. I want to have my hands in a lot of different pots just because I need something to fall back on. So, coding and software and IT, that will always be my plan B if plan A does not work. Because we always need plan B, you know? So, I know next year I'm going to Essence Fest. I missed it this year. Yeah. I need to do some networking. Networking is also ever important. Oh, my God.
Yes.
So that's what I really want to do that. I'm going to start a YouTube channel soon, like I said, and that's probably going to get the eyes of certain people, getting out on social media and putting out some videos and just getting my name out there that out here to do marketing, out here to do fashion, makeup, whatever it is.
Like, so make sure I get a whole get up.
Oh my God, you with these sandals on.
Okay. So what's the biggest door that has been open for you in this field?
It has been my certification that I got in my specific program, Salesforce. That was the opening door right there. When I got that, like I said, it put me in a select pool of people. I've had companies reach out to me from out of town asking, can they relocate me because I have this certification. Yes. It has happened. Yes. It has definitely happened. LinkedIn.
Get LinkedIn. Okay, so I'm just everywhere because I think that's so dope, and I'm so proud of you.
And you know what? I do want to mention that I've been watching a lot of TV and news, and I noticed that I was watching Fox 6 the other day, and they were at the Betty Graham Museum. They have coding for kids there. They're trying to teach kids coding
because it's becoming a thing.
It is really relevant. Okay, and then I know that they have a black girl who codes camp now, and it's for young women. I think like
here
9 to 6. No, I don't think it's here, but I know that they have a camp specialized to black young girls. I think it's like 9 to 16 years old or something like that. So anybody who wants to get into STEM, I suggest that you do it. I think it's just a great path to be on right now.
Yes. So let's talk. So you talked a little bit about the IT field. What other options are there in STEM?
So you have the science. You have the I'm in the technology sector, then you have the engineering, and you have the math. I actually worked with a young engineer. She was like 24, something like 23, 24. She was an engineer at my old job, and she was just doing her thing. And it's just so great. So I think any jobs that fall into those categories are considered STEM at this point. And I think that since STEM is being pushed a lot, there may be certain grants for it, certain scholarships that are specifically for STEM.
There are a lot too. So I everything is just if you guys are motivated to go in and do your research, then you are watching the wrong channel. Research. As you guys heard, this isn't the only field within that or the only option within that field. So research and figure out what it is that you love to do and go for it. Do you have any advice to anyone who's maybe considering a career jump, possibly thinking of STEM, maybe a high school girl or a young lady in college who's kind of unsure? What motivation or words of encouragement can you give her?
I think for sure that it's a great area to start on when you're in high school and take certain classes or whatever that, talk to any counselor that you can talk to that can direct you to classes that will further your education in those areas. Try to take any certification courses that you can. If you want to learn how to code, if you want to be a software admin, if you want to be a developer, just get into those things. YouTube is really helpful. They have a lot of videos where you can teach yourself how to code, like do that. Self-teaching is so great. There are so many different coding languages and stuff like that. So I think if someone wants to go on there like on me time and actually go on YouTube and just look up some of that stuff, they can learn a lot.
Okay. YouTube. Don't forget YouTube.
Don't forget.
Yes. So I just want to thank Ms. Myra for sitting with me. I think I'm about to go get certified. Just about to go do my research really quickly. But no, I think that if you guys can tell, it's opened so many different doors for her. And not only is she living her best life now, but she's also planning for the future because of the doors it has opened for her. So make sure you guys research. Learn more. You can reach out to me. I can connect you with Myra. But if they want to connect with you directly, how can they reach you?
You can reach me through my Instagram. It's m_series_. So follow me if you would like.
Yes.
I'll give Steph my email address, and if you have any questions, I'm definitely more than open to answering anything that needs to be answered.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
You're very welcome. Black women in STEM. It's amazing. It's very lucrative. Get into it.
So let's talk about STEM, and that seems like that is like a lot of like you have to focus and concentrate and make sure it takes up a lot of your time.
I wouldn't say it takes up a lot of my time. I'm a 9 to 5 girl. Like after 5, the people I work with don't exist.
Okay. So has it been challenging dating in your field or no?
I wouldn't say so. I feel like men find it attractive that I'm educated, that I'm in my field, that, I make the money that I make. Like, I found that men find it attractive.
So when you say you find that men find it attractive, is it men that matches where you're at and where you're going? Or do you find you have a lot of men that's like, let me write her coattail?
No.
Okay. Let's get into it.
It's actually men that are above me. You know what I'm saying? I never want to depend on a man. I always want to be equal in a relationship. I want to get gifts and I want to buy gifts. You know what I'm saying?
Nice gifts.
Very nice gifts. Okay?
What's a really nice gift?
Oh my God.
I want to know.
I mean, some of the stuff in this house. Some of this
really
gallery,
nice.
Some of this Z gallery stuff is really nice.
You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, so I just found that if you're talking to a man in a certain caliber, that they appreciate the work that I do. You know, and that I'm dedicated to what I do, that I'm proud of what I do. They want to know more about my certification. They want to know more about my master's degree, stuff like that. Okay. So. And I'm happy to actually be talking to someone that is interested in that. You know what I'm saying? Because I talk to people that they never know what I do. They don't even ask.
Oh, and that has to be a turn off.
Yeah, like, you don't want to know what I do for a living? Do you not care? Or do you think it's rude? You know what I'm saying? You just never know. And I'm pretty sure that there are guys that may be intimidated. But I haven't come across that quite yet. But maybe after this interview.
So, and you talked about being proud, a proud black woman working in STEM, right? So what if the guy you're kicking it with, he comes across, he's like, yo, I want you to stay at home, or I don't want you to work anymore.
No, I can't do that. Okay. I cannot do that. I don't care if I was dating a millionaire. Like, I couldn't stay at home all day. What I would do, though, I would leave STEM to pursue my passion in marketing. I would do that. But I'm never just going to stay home. Okay. That's not something that I can do. I need my own safety net. I need to have my own. Like, I have to.
Yes, I agree.
That's just how I was raised, and that's how I've been. Like, I'm really independent.
Yes. So if you could say anything to any man who is intimidated, who may be intimidated by a woman who's doing her own thing, like, I don't really need you in this area. Because men like to, use their money to, would you agree with that? Use their money
Very
to
much so.
lure women in?
Lure women, oh, most definitely. Because it works a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It actually works. And
so now you have a woman who has her own.
Now what? Now what?
So what advice
do
you
got
give
now?
to men?
Bring it to the table now, sir.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm just playing. No, I just feel like men should never be intimidated by their woman. You know, I think that when you meet a woman that has stuff, she's there to compliment you. She's there to help you too. Like, I mean, you guys can compliment each other. It's not like oh, well, she's more. You know, it doesn't decrease from your manhood that she has her own. It's actually a great thing, and I've always looked at it as being a great thing. I've been uncomfortable going into a relationship if I didn't have my own stuff together.
Yes.
And now that I do, like, I feel more comfortable, you know, dating and, you know.
Bring on the big
Yeah,
guys.
definitely. Right. Come on, y'all. You know?
I'm ready.
Because I feel like I can reciprocate
Yes.
what I am giving now, you know,
Yes.
and I don't feel like I'm reliant on anyone. And I know any guy that I've dated has never made me feel like that, but at the end of the day, like, I want to make sure that I have my own. And guys should not be intimidated by a girl doing her thing. They should encourage it.
Yes. So being a woman who has her own, and I know that, you know, the guy that you're dating is in the or above the caliber, right? What was the main thing that attracted you? Like, okay, this may be the one worth.
It was personality. It was solely personality.
Okay.
Like, you know, so initial attractions can be looks, it can be reputation, it can be stature in the city, you know, something like that. It was a combination of those things for initial, but to keep my attention, it was personality. Like, personality is so important to me. Like, it just has to mesh, and positive vibes. Like, positive energy is all I am about. Like, in my social life, in my work life, everywhere, I need positive energy. I exude it. I need to get it back. You know?
And I'm definitely getting it.
Yes.
I've been getting it since I came in here. So yes.
I get it from Steph through social media. How can you do that? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he gives me a lot of positive energy, and I love that, and it's just great.
All right. So shout out to the lucky guy who, you know, gets to claim this beautiful black woman in STEM.
Woo!
Okay.